How do you talk to yourself? It matters. If you're sitting there thinking, I don't, you do. We all actually have a running dialogue. Most of the time, the chitter chatter is pretty functional, such as, do I need another cup of coffee? Or what do I feel like for dinner? But it can be emotional. Things like, you idiot, why did you do that? What were you thinking? Of course, sometimes you feel good. Now, feeling good is not a problem. But when the self-talk turns negative, it is potentially destructive. In an ideal world, what you want to do is minimize this negative chitter-chatter. Unfortunately, this is not always easy to do. It's hard work, and anytime you have to work at something, it uses up resources. And of course, in a moment of crisis, when being less emotional would be optimal, you more often than not don't have the mental resources to do this. So you unleash a barrage of negativity. Aish. So is there a way to be naturally less negative? Well, a group of researchers from Michigan think they found a way to make self-talk a more affirming experience, particularly for those of us who are just not naturally positive thinkers, like me. Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry TV as we find out how to be less negative using biology, not psychology. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, a scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heifer lumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. The secret is tied up in who is doing the talking. You see, names are usually used to refer to others. And when your brain hears a name, even your own name, it's thinking about others. In the moment, it briefly disconnects you from the situation because others are involved. Now, it's not quite an out-of-body experience. The disconnect is small, but it seems to be enough to make a difference to how you experience the situation, because as an other, you approach the situation more objectively. Some of the raw emotion is drained from the situation. The team of researchers demonstrated just how powerful using a name can be when they set 37 undergraduate students up to have an emotional response. The emotional response was generated through images, some neutral, some disturbing. As the images were viewed, the brain's response to each image was tracked by measuring electrical activity in different regions of the brain while hooked up to an fMRI machine. In one version of the emotional experience, they encouraged the person to think in terms of I. What am I feeling right now? In the other, they encouraged the person to think in terms of their own name. That is, what is their name feeling right now? It made a difference. Emotions ran a whole lot higher when I was in the picture. Now, since looking at pictures is not the same as living an emotional experience, the team decided to verify that the principle of taking the I out of the situation works in real life too. Using different people, they looked at brain activity in response to thinking about negative personal experiences. The negative experiences were real. They'd been shared with the researchers and included things like being rejected and what happened at a party. The experience was considered from an I perspective or from their name perspective. Once again, taking the I out of the head conversation lowered the emotional response. And the great thing about it didn't require any work. It happened automatically. Emotions do impact body chemistry. Unfortunately, controlling your emotions can be challenging. This research suggests whenever you get a blast of negative emotion, try changing the protagonist in the story. Switch from the I to your name. From the psyche's perspective, Tom is an idiot is a whole lot less destructive than you are an idiot. And in the process, this helps you to create better body chemistry and better health. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry or need a little help getting your body chemistry on track? visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Browse our library, enroll in one of our courses or programs. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone who often allows negative self-talk to sabotage their body chemistry. Share this video with them so that they know how to let some of the emotional sting out of their self-talk. And if this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.